Over the last few years, there's been a huge problem has evolved with not knowing where the traffic through an IP address was coming from. So through either compromised infrastructure or through SDKs on mobile devices and TVs, threat actors have been able to proxy their traffic through any home IP address.
Ken Bagnall joins us now. He is the co-founder and CEO of Silent Push, joining us here on the ground in San Francisco. Ken, really nice to have you here. Thanks for taking the time.
Lovely to be here. Appreciate it.
Most security tools react after there has already been a compromise or after there's already been a breach. How does Silent Push stop attacks before they happen?
Yeah, so we're a preemptive cyber defense platform. So from our previous history working in defensive tools, we were always upset about the fact that all security companies, the information that goes into your products is based on somebody getting attacked in the first place. And you really need someone as a neutral vendor to go after the threat actors as they set up their infrastructure and staging. So that's what we do. So we monitor all internet activity in order to find them setting up their infrastructure, and we give you indicators of future attack, which is for preemptive cyber defense. And like to explain how that exists in kind of real world terms. Last year we saw Chinese nation state threat actor Seoul Typhoon setting up infrastructure in May. We published that into our customers in May. It hit in July, so it actually started hitting telecoms companies in July. Other security companies published about that in October. The October information is what people buy as threat intelligence. The May information is preemptive cyber defense, right? For an event that happens in July, you can choose to buy in May or in October, right?
And in what ways do you have to always evolve your own processes so that you can effectively detect those threats earlier and earlier, knowing that the so-called bad guys, their game is always evolving as well?
For sure, they evolve at a faster and faster rate. We have some advantages at the moment, so as they try and scale faster using AI, they tend to put more processes into that whole workflow. And they tend to generate more infrastructure, but more similar looking infrastructure. So we're actually picking up an awful lot more at the moment.
Which industries are most at risk right now from the world of newly emerging cyber threats?
Yeah, I think everybody, because we've got quite a wide variety of types of threats targeting different people. So it's like, they consider different markets to go after, right? So the largest crime group that we see is the Triad Nexus, the Chinese triads who operate all of the scam centers in Southeast Asia. That's huge crime infrastructure. They have different branches of it with different types of crimes and targeting different countries. So that's very broad, but the effect of it is pretty enormous in terms of it's leaking money out of economies at a large scale. And certain countries have actually taken a big step towards trying to deal with that on a national level, and others haven't, right? But it is a leaky bucket for any economy to have that much scam money leaving your economy heading down to Southeast Asia.
Ken, what is one reality of the broader cybersecurity landscape and world that you think more people should be paying attention to?
So over the last few years, there's been a huge problem has evolved with not knowing where the traffic through an IP address was coming from. So through either compromised infrastructure or through SDKs on mobile devices and TVs, threat actors have been able to proxy their traffic through any home IP address. And this has caused huge problems for defenders because you can't really associate an IP with certain campaign infrastructure. They can pop out anywhere at the moment. And that's a huge problem. So we've actually evolved a special service for that called traffic origin, which will identify the countries of origin emerging from that IP address. And that's one that I think people don't have a way to deal with. So, we've had a huge problem, particularly in the United States, in enterprise companies with North Korean IT workers pretending to be John from Minnesota and getting a remote work worker job in all large enterprises. And this has been a huge problem in the US, and it's because they can proxy through any local IP address, right? Then they use deepfake AI for the job interviews, etc. And we hope that Traffic Origin will really help people to spot them as they log into your infrastructure, actually from North Korea or regions in China near North Korea.
If you could give CISOs one piece of advice to more effectively stay ahead of cyber attackers, what would it be?
Always look for actionable information. Don't always over-attribute and look for the threat intelligence report about what's happening. Always go for the actionable information that will allow you to defend your organization in a real way.
Ken Bagnall, co-founder and CEO of Silent Push. Ken, thanks for sitting down with us. Really nice to have you today.
Really nice to have you. Thanks very much.